Whoa! Welcome to the Treasure Tree Therapy Planters Podcast. I'm your host, Master Cheeze, also known as the First Hokage. You're in for a good one again today. We're going to start us off with some injuries. Always got to start off with injuries. A lot of injuries occurring in the NFL. Then we're going to progress over unto the Bears, the Chicago Bears. Ugh. Then lastly, we'll end with the best time, prime time. Yes, stay tuned. Bloop. Sunday. Welcome back to the Treasure Tree Therapy Planters Podcast. Again, I'm the tree stump of the day, Brandon O, also known as Master Cheeze. We're going to tap into some injuries today. First injury, the biggest injury, is to the 49ers fans. Yes, the invincible 49ers fans got caught slipping and took a major L this week. Still one of the best teams in NFL, but I know your pride is hurting because you lost to the Browns. In addition to losing to the Browns, you lost one of your best players. Actually, in fact, your best player, Christian Mccaffrey, said he went down with a oblique injury. Now, a lot of people may be confused on how an oblique injury may occur or what the issue is with an oblique injury. It's kind of like an overstretch or overstrain, or even some trauma can occur close to about where you might experience like a broken rib. Similar sensations, but for his injury, comes down to pain tolerance. Now, it seems they officially ruled him out for the next upcoming game. Things could change, but they have him out right now. So, to get a little bit deeper into that, he has had some injuries in the previous years, hamstring injuries. Just a weird injury commonly can occur when baseball players do a lot of swinging, just using those muscles. Now, in terms of the pain tolerance, it's just discomfort. You know, when you breathe, when you move, when you go to stand up, you really feel those things when you have rib injuries or oblique injuries. It's the reasoning, or it's responsible for doing turning. You know, you driving and your obliques are bothering you. You're going to have a hard time checking that blind spot. So just a little bit of information going on with him. He'll be out, I would say, probably about a week. They have him about a week or two. I think he'll be good after a week, but just something to kind of monitor. And as you see how pain is usually an issue with that, the neurological system is letting you know something's going on. Utilizing pain as the reasoning and rationale is a very tricky thing. It could be coming from those obliques. It could be coming from somewhere else. But pain can be referred from different areas. So right now, it's just up to his pain tolerance and what he can manage to tolerate as the season progresses. So that's something to look out for. Not a major blow, but just a precautionary blow as far as relative to the rest of the league, who have been experiencing a lot of knee, hamstring injuries. Christian McCaffrey should be A-OK going forward. A prime example of someone who experienced a similar injury was Jalen Waddle of the Dolphins. Experienced similar injury with the obliques. It was bothering him. He kind of had to sit out. He still may be dealing with that, but he's still able to play. Just keep your eyes out on what that situation is going to be looking like in the upcoming weeks. And then we're going to progress Aaron Rodgers. We spoke on him in our first NFL edition of the Planets Podcast. He is currently out of the walking boots. As you can see here, he's on his feet doing some throws, very light, motivating visuals, but there is still a long road of rehab for him where he has to get up to gain speed and see how he feels with contact. These injuries mess with your nervous system and they mess with your ability to experience pain and be in the trenches a little bit more. So just keep your eyes out out for that. Aaron Rodgers, congratulations on being able to walk without a boot.
Someday.
All right, moving forward, Chicago Bears played this weekend. They played the Vikings, and Justin Fields experienced a dislocated finger. The thumb specifically makes it difficult to kind of manage and hold the ball with that thumb. The thumb's still functional. It's just the pain he's having. So they ruled him out of that game. Precautionary reasons, it seems, but we'll see what they do. He seems to be either day to day, week to week. Not a lot of noise coming on from the organization at this moment. Most likely he'll be doubtful. They're trying to protect the quarterback, trying to see how he progresses. But it's something that is going to hurt the Bears in the front office as they go to manage and see how the future looks going forward. Now, tapping into Justin Fields, we're going to progress into what happened with the Chicago Bears. All right. I did give you all an update last week about what to expect with the Vikings going up against the Bears. And as we speak about defensive ends, we have the Vikings this week. And they have what I say is a bad man by the name of Danielle Hunter. Now, with the Vikings going up against the Bears, and they send you a lot of different pressures and a lot of different looks. So, surprisingly, I guess they didn't get the memo of facing the Vikings. Now, as you can see, the very first play, this is amazing to me that this happens. I don't really know if this is a crazy feat, but the very first play, Justin Fields at quarterback, guys walked up at the line, and he calls hike. Now, that Mike linebacker is letting you know he's coming. Coming because he hasn't moved. And what does Justin Fields do? Doesn't really adjust, doesn't roll, doesn't go hot read, just thinks that he has a lot of time in the pocket. This is an error going on with the Chicago Bears. This is called situational football. And this is I'm gonna show more plays that's showing these situations. But the IQ going from the coaching and also from the QB does not seem to be there, at least to be a top tier team. Now, Justin Fields gets sacked on this play. And in addition to him being sacked on this play, he was sacked 4 times in this game. He was 6 for 10, 4 sacks, 1 interception. I'm going to show you more plays showing you on how Justin Fields is having a hard time dissecting and problem solving at the line of scrimmage. This is the second play, all right? You're on third down. You're in 3rd and goal right here. 3rd and goal. You have DJ Moore again on the outside. Now, we raved about the Bears last week about how they defeated the Washington Commanders. And they did a good job of utilizing DJ Moore one-on-one on the outside. What has changed? Why is it this week that we revert back to old terrible habits? You have 3rd and goal on the goal line, DJ Moore on the outside. Just give him the ball. Instead, we decide to go on a drop back pass, looking for Mooney maybe late across the middle. But again, the Vikings are going to send pressure. So the coaching and the play calling is a little bit off to me. There's a little bit of disconnect going on here, and that's a problem for the Chicago Bears and the coaching staff. All right? We wash this out, kick a field goal, cool. Now, coming back to the last play that I want to go over, this is 3rd and 2. Prime opportunity to get a score right before halftime. 3rd and 2, and you run a double move on the outside when you have the flats wide open. This is video game football here. You're just assuming that since one-on-one, you're just going to go throw the ball up. Again, the Vikings are going to send pressure. You don't have time in the pocket to make these deep throws. You have to have quick passes. This is how you win games. You get the first down, and now you matriculate, and you have at least a minute plus on the clock, and now you can make plays. You can re-strategize on the first down. Instead, bonehead call, bonehead play. And these are certain pieces that are attributing to why the Bears will continue to lose. Just not having all the eggs in the right basket. All right? And another play that I want to show you based off Justin Fields' skill and the coaching staff, Danielle Hunter was an individual, I warned you all, was going to have a lot of pressure on the quarterback. He had plenty of pressures. He ended the game with 2 sacks. Now, this is the impressive sack here, and you can credit Danielle for his motor. He doesn't quit on the play. But what are we doing here? What makes you think that you have this much time to hold the ball in the pocket? Where is the sense of urgency going on here? Just watch. He flows, he flutters, he makes it all the way across the other side of the field and gets a sack. Just bad football. We're just a bad team. The Chicago Bears stink. And I'm not saying that just based off opinion. It's just statistically speaking, we suck. We are a bad team. But guess what? You have another week. We have a schedule that is still opportunistic to making the playoffs. Pleasant for us in the position that we're in. We have a couple games that are still winnable games. If we can at least get 2 or 3 wins before the bye, presents a late year stretch where we have to go on a run down the line. So the biggest thing that we have to check out now, if we can just beat the Detroit Lions in those couple games. If we can't beat the Detroit Lions, the season's over with. We can just go for the first round draft pick, as a lot of fans are wanting. But a lot of opportunities still, and a lot of opportunities for Justin Fields to still show that he's a quality quarterback. I think with him taking a couple weeks off, he may be able to recompose himself, string along a couple wins here or there, a couple wins before the bye week. We can have a late year push. If we can hit a 4-game win streak, 5-game win streak, possibility of making the playoffs still stands. The Bears need to be a playoff team before we can be a championship team. So we need to make sure that we're still aiming to do big things as the season progresses. Now, Justin Fields, he may have to sit out a couple games with that thumb injury, but he also has to prove himself as a quarterback still. He had a couple good games, but that's not enough for an organization to risk keeping him in the future. It's a 2-year process, but if Justin Fields can't play, he'll make the decision for the organization a lot easier, which is something that I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of, and I still would like for him to show that he is a top-tier quarterback in addition to the coaching improving in these different phases of the game. Now, Justin Fields' thumb injury, they're saying that it could be a couple weeks. It's really up to his ability to hold a ball and tolerate that pain. The neurological system is going to let you know the area is affected and injured. So pain is going to present and let you know not to use it so that it can heal itself. A week or 2 of recovery should present with Justin Fields still be a quality quarterback. Now, the problem with that, Justin Fields' injury is also presenting itself as the Chicago Bears lost this week against the Minnesota Vikings. That game showed me what kind of strategy the Bears are having. They shut him down, but they didn't really utilize him as a decoy. I think that would have been a good coaching point. Justin Fields is a hell of a runner. I believe that utilizing him as a decoy would have helped push the line a little bit more for the Bears to win that game, which they did not do. But as he progresses, if he wants to play in the next coming weeks, he has to get that pain tolerance. He has to improve his pain. He has to get that pain down. And with that pain tolerance, the ability to hold a football and throw it is going to be pretty difficult for him. So hopefully he can bounce back in the next coming weeks. If not, this is going to be a whole tornado of events for the Chicago Bears. And I believe a big deal for the Bears, seeing as the quarterback, which is the biggest decision that we need to make going into first round selections, and if you want to tank the season or not. So keep your eyes out for Justin Fields. Speedy recovery. Hopefully he does well. And we're going to end with the segment. We're going to keep these videos nice and short, but you know what time it is. Hold on 1 second. Prime time. Okay, guys. The Colorado Buffaloes took a terrible L this week. All right, a terrible L. They looked good doing it. They took a terrible L. And to be up 29-0 is a very positive sign for Coach Prime Time, okay? But it's also one of the worst feelings you can have as a coach when you're up so much, you're at the top of the game, and you lose. Showing that the level of detail is not there yet, not just for him, just for his team. He has a couple young guys on that team. These are young children, not young children, but these are teenagers, right? They're up, they're winning, and now they want to maybe go for stats, or maybe they want to go for make plays. They don't really want to. They don't feel that they need to be as disciplined because you're winning by so much. How can you lose? But now he's faced with a dilemma now. When you lose games like this can destroy everything you've built up, because now people start pointing fingers and like, you are the reason for this, you are the reason for that. So even if he loses the next couple of games, he needs to present damage control. He needs to make sure that his players, his coaching staff still believes in him as the head coach of that football team. It's very good that he was able to go up 29-0, because usually Colorado is a second half football team. They were up, but they did not know how to be a champion and win those games. And that is a part of the development that is needed for them to become a solid program. Now, besides that point, Shedeur Sanders balled out. Checking out his stat line, the man went 33 for 47, 400 yards. He was sacked 4 times, though. But he's still putting up impressive numbers, still helping his team win games. Is going to continue to rise, and I believe that's also what Primetime wants for his players. So it was a terrible loss, but they got to move forward because they have another opponent this week. And if they can win a couple games to become bowl eligible, that'll be a different success for their season. So, yeah, video is pretty short today. I try to keep these videos short. Again, we'll present more coming in the next coming weeks. We'll present you all the super fan of the Chicago Bears, and then we'll tail into the NBA season. We'll bring down the NFL portion of our podcast and focus on the NBA as the beginning of November rolls around. So check out the website, TreasureTreeTherapy.com, and we will continue to plant seeds today for future generations' success. Deuces.